Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. Today is a sad day in the Woodyard. Today is going to be the last day that we're going to have this Japa 365 Pro here to work to make firewood. The deal has always been with this equipment that it's here on loan. We've worked our way through the Japa lineup. We've had the Japa 315, the 365 Basic, and now the 365 Pro. And they've always been on loan, and the day has come that this machine, Metza Machines, has actually sold it as a demo model, and it's going to be leaving. I got the call the other day. They're going to be here in a few days to pick it up, and I've got a lot of work here to do to get it out from under the building. It was the first thing to go in, and so in order to get it out, it's got to be the last thing to come back out. I've got to move everything else. The Eastimate 37D, I've got to pull that out. I've got to pull out the Eastimate axis. Probably a couple of firewood baskets, because in order to get the tractor in here, you can see this machine does not have wheels or an axle, so I've got to be able to get the tractor in with the forks that way. So I've got to have this whole area cleared out, come in with the forks underneath it, and then drive it straight out that way. So I probably have to move those logs and our log deck too. But before we do that, I do have a couple more logs that I want to run through it before it's got to go. All right, so as I was making my way over here to load the logs on the live deck for the Japa, I realized I had one more thing I got to do before I can start thinking about moving equipment out of here, and that is get all of these slabs bucked up. As they come off the sawmill, I set them on the back side of the bucking table, so when I've got a clear bucking table, I can go ahead and pick all those up, set them right on the log deck, and get them cut up. But I need to get that done before I can move the bucking table, before I can move the Eastimate 37D, before I can make firewood on the Japa, and then start thinking about getting that moved out of there. So it's about 18 degrees out right now, and I'll tell you what, nothing will get the blood pumping and keep you warm like bucking up a whole IBC tote worth of slab wood. I am sweating right now, and as you can see, it is a winter wonderland out. Let's go ahead and do our final run of logs with the Japa 365 Pro. Oh, we are in full-on whiteout conditions right now. Said it before. Thank God for this building. Even though we've got snow blowing in under the roof, for the most part, we've got dry ground in under here. Got to go ahead and get this stacked up, and we got a couple more logs to make. There we go, log deck's all clear. Last run through the Japa. Nothing left to do now but start moving equipment out of here so I can get the tractor in here and get this machine out. Except for the fact that it has been snowing non-stop all day today. We gotta go get the driveway plowed before Lana and the kids get home. All right, I've got it all packaged up and ready for them to come pick it up and take it to its new home. I guess my final thoughts on this machine now that we're saying goodbye is it is a great processor for the money that you spend on it. I mean, obviously there's $100,000, $200,000 firewood processors out there that are much better than this machine, but this one, depending on the options that you get on it, somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. So it kind of gets the weekend warrior guy starting to think about maybe making a business out of it. It's kind of that first step into going from weekend warrior to doing some firewood full time without that big of a pill to swallow of getting a loan for a $100,000 machine. But if I had to pick two things to complain about with this machine, the first one would be the splitter force on it. The splitter here is only rated for up to 7 tons. And so occasionally, if you don't have perfectly straight telephone poles or straight grained wood, you can jam this machine very easily with stringy wood or a weird knot in the wood. So I would like to see them up the tonnage of the splitter force, because if you get this thing hung up, you're probably spending, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can clear a jam in about 5-10 minutes. But when you first get this thing, you could spend a half an hour to an hour trying to get a piece of wood unjammed from this machine. So it'd be nice to not have to worry about that whatever you put in there, it's gonna split because it's got enough power. And then the second thing that I would complain about with this machine is the 14-inch diameter log limitation. That's fairly limiting if you're doing firewood. I mean, we have a bunch of trees that are smaller than that, so we've been okay to run it, but it does limit you on what you can bring in for your raw material to feed this machine. On the plus side though, this thing makes beautiful firewood because it does force you to put good firewood into it, good logs in. It's kind of, with firewood, it's one of those things, garbage in, garbage out, and this machine forces you to put nice material in, so everything that comes out of this machine is great looking firewood. So it's a plus and a minus, but I would like to see them make that opening there a little bit bigger than 14 inches, because even if you do have a tree that's, say, 12 inches and it's got just a little bit of a crook in it, you'll end up fighting with that, getting it to feed in as well. So I guess that is my final thoughts on the Japa 365 Pro. But that does leave us with a little bit of a void here in the building. You know, the whole idea when we built this building was to grow our firewood business, grow our sawmill business, get all of the equipment in under here under the roof, and be able to work more days when it's raining or snowing. And having a firewood processor in under here, as well as the 37D and the Axis, it's worked really, really well. But now we're missing a piece of equipment. So let me know in the comments below if there's a piece of equipment out there that you think you'd like to see here on the channel. What would you be interested in watching us run here? And if you're an equipment manufacturer out there and you've got a piece of equipment you think the world should see that could fill the shoes of the Japa 365 here in the Woodyard, shoot me an email, hometownacres@outlook.com. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, click that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.